Welcome to the Dray Way. Yes, welcome to the Dray Way. I am glad you're here. We got a really cool show today. I'm glad you're joining me. By the way, hit the subscriber button because we got a lot to talk about and I want you to stick around. Let's go. Welcome to the Dray Way. I got so much to talk to you guys about today, but I want to start with, have you ever had that person in your life, say your son or your daughter, and they say, Mom, Dad, Mom, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do karate class. I want to do dance. I want to do and it's the hot thing. It's what they want to do right now. But what you find out after maybe just even a few weeks is the reality of actually doing it wasn't that interesting and they really don't want to do it anymore. Yeah, that can happen just after a few weeks or a few months. How many of you have experienced that? I bet a lot of you have. I know I'm experiencing that with my son already. But that is exactly what is going on right now with Donald Trump. That's exactly what's going on with Donald Trump in the sense that, hey, I won the presidency. I don't have to go to jail. Here I am. I can now run things the way I want. I can now do whatever I want. The Supreme Court has said as acting as president, I can do no wrong. Here I go. But the problem of that is he put forth a bunch of comic book people that have no business being in those positions. And so what did the Senate do? The Senate snapped down on Matt Gaetz because Donald Trump went all out on Matt Gaetz. He picked up the phone and called senators in person. He told Vance, his VP, hold him by the hand. Take him by senator to senator and get me the votes I need. And guess what happened? No. The answer was no. And you know why the answer was no? Because he wasn't fit for the position whatsoever. And the man had no friends in Washington. None. Zero. Zip. So he had no equity built in the House. He had no one he could go to and go, hey, this is a good guy. Nothing. So what did Donald Trump do? Donald Trump already put himself out there as not being very serious. Yeah, even after only being elected a few weeks ago, already he's being seen as not taking the job very seriously. He's like that 8-year-old boy, that daughter or son that you had that was all interested in karate class for the first few weeks, and now, not so much. And that is what is going to continue to happen with Donald Trump because he's just not that interested in actually doing the work. Make no mistake about it, everybody, and I want you guys to understand what I'm saying here. To get real things done in Washington, to get real legislation done in Washington is difficult. It's hard. You have to have a bunch of people, even though in this case they would be Republicans. Republicans have the House and they have the Senate. By a little, not by a lot. They have it by a little. And in case you haven't figured out the Republicans yet, you have some normal people here and you have some complete right-wing, cuckoo, goofball nut jobs that are in the same party calling themselves Republican. So here you have normal adult Republicans trying to deal with complete wacko kook jobs. Yeah, and it often doesn't work. So more times than not, what does leadership have to do? Leadership has to walk over to Democrats and look at us and be like, yeah, we would like to get this passed and get this done, but we may need some of your help. And that's where we sit there and go, oh, well, what do you need us for? You know, you called us worthless, you know, so we're just going to sit over here and be worthless. No, no, no. You can't do that right now. You have to talk with us because those wackos want to burn everything to the ground. And we're like, as Democrats, we're like, yeah, we know. We know. We tell you guys that, and you keep allowing them to hang around for some reason. So what's basically going to happen over the next few years is exactly what I just explained to you. It's going to be a lot of trying to get things done, meticulously done, because you need so many votes to get it done, and Republicans just simply can't agree on anything because they are not used to legislating anything. They are used to just getting in front of cameras and like, yeah, burn it down. We don't need the education department. We don't need the IRS. We don't need this. We don't need that. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It looks good in front of a camera, okay? But when it comes down to actually doing things, yeah, Republicans just aren't very good at it. So before everyone gets all worked up and all freaked out, just know that Donald Trump has already made a huge mistake. He's made himself look not that serious. Republican senators have already had to come up to the forefront and be like, no, Donald Trump, we're not doing that. And that's going to increasingly happen because the minute Donald Trump hits Washington, he has an expiration date. The egg timer goes upside down the minute he walks in Washington, and his time is limited. And everyone's going to be watching that timer. And as that timer goes down, Trump's power gets less and less and less. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please subscribe to the show. Welcome to the Dray Way. We have so much more to talk about. Stay right here. We got more to do. I've been talking about real estate on TikTok for about 2 years. And for 2 years, I warned people as prices peaked in 2022, I was like, this is not a good time to buy a house. This is not a good time to buy a house. And you know what right now is? It's not a good time to buy a house. Now is a really good time to rent a house, especially if you're moving to Texas or Florida. Don't you dare buy a house. It's a horrible time to buy a house. Now, can you rent down there? Yes, rent. Rent. It's going to be much, much, much cheaper to rent. Let all the problems of ownership go to somebody else because Texas and Florida are crashing right now. Is every single area crashing right now? I guess you might be able to find pockets of things being okay, but in large part, Florida and Texas are crashing. And I bring in Texas because there are foreclosures in Texas all over the place. I mean, my buddy down in Texas is like, he showed me his list from last week. I'm like, dude, is this in 1 week? He goes, this is 1 week of foreclosures just for this county. I was like, are you, I mean, I was like, oh, how many are here? He goes, I haven't even counted them yet. I don't even know. But that's what's happening in Florida and Texas right now. Florida and Texas real estate, and over the next few years, where do you think real estate is going? Now, I know there might be some of you in northern New Jersey going, well, we're not doing bad. We're in northern New Jersey. Okay, yeah, there's probably a few areas in the Northeast doing okay. But most areas, including California, not okay. And not going to be doing okay this year, next year, the year after that. And who knows? Who knows what Donald Trump is going to do? Because if you think he's just going to lower interest rates, Donald Trump doesn't control interest rates. And putting interest rates really low again would absolutely skyrocket inflation. We could be looking at double-digit inflation if we did anything remotely close to what we did last time. And what people don't understand is we are still paying for what we did before. You guys think we're not still feeling the repercussions for the low interest rates of a few years ago? Because we are. And we will continue to feel that wrath. You guys think it just magically all went away? No. We got into a hyper bubble and we're now living through this hyper bubble. Since when do you walk into a 1,200 square foot house and go, yep, 400,000 bucks. That makes perfect sense. 400,000 for 1,200 square feet? Yeah, in most areas USA, that's what we call nonsense. That's crazy talk, and it shouldn't be done. So yeah, real estate right now is not a good investment. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Real estate right now is not a good investment. It's expensive, and in the long run, especially over the next few years, you're not likely to see much appreciation, if any. So if you're looking to make a change, if you're looking to make a move, you better have all the facts and all the data. Because as far as an investment over the next few years, yeah, I think you'll be able to get a 5% 10-year treasury yield, which is better than messing around with the risk of real estate. Now, the stock market, that's a whole different subject and what I want to talk about next. So stay right here, and don't forget, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button. You're at the Dray Way with your host, Drayton Nay. I'm glad to have you here. Stick around. We got one more thing to talk about. Everyone in the comments, everyone has been sending me emails asking me about the stock market, the stock market, the stock market. What stocks do you buy? Which ones do you? And I don't typically go over that. Although some of you want me to go over some specific stocks, I'm going to do that in upcoming shows. I'll go over certain stocks, why I like them and why I'm invested in them. I think I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, I got out of all my oil stocks because I don't think Donald Trump is going to be kind to oil stocks. He certainly wasn't last time, and I'm not going to take the risk this time. But one thing I want to make sure you guys all understand, the stock market is a really good place to be, and so is gold and silver. Gold and silver, I have held gold and silver since the 70s. And I still have some of the coins and stuff, most of them, that I collected back in the 70s. So I'm a big proponent of gold and silver. And if you haven't invested in gold and silver before, in many cases, you can go to your local coin shop and they will sell you spot gold and silver at spot prices. And that's a good way to get started. Buying little half-ounce and 1-ounce bars of gold and maybe 5 or 10-ounce bars of silver. But get started. Get started and figure out who's got the best prices and what coin shops are available, and make sure they sell gold and silver at spot prices. Take a look in your neighborhood and see what's available, because I think, especially over the next decade, I think gold and silver are still way, way undervalued. So I know a lot of you want me to talk about crypto, and I'm just not really into crypto. As far as I'm concerned, you either own Bitcoin or Ethereum, and that's basically it. Those are the only two that I'm really comfortable with at this point. But what I want to have you focus on right now is gold and silver. Gold and silver is going to be a good investment for the years to come. So if you have any questions about that, if you have any comments, please put them in the comments. Any questions, I'll try to get back to you. That's the Dray Way for the day. I'm glad you were with me. Check out tomorrow. We got another Dray Way coming up, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great weekend. I mean it, a great weekend. We'll see you later.